today is going to be kind of an intro. If you've played some guitar before, this might be a refresher. We'll give you kind of a little reminder on some things. And then what I want to do is before we leave, I'll find out maybe some of the things. I'll have you send in some questions of things you'd like to learn. It can be a song. It can be you want to know about a musical style. And we'll try to get to it over the course of the next several weeks. All right. So what I'm going to do first, over the time, I see we've got some tuning going on. But what I want to do is the first thing I'm going to give all of you, we'll get kind of in the habit of doing this. Whenever you start playing your guitar, you need to tune up. And we'll kind of work on the details of that. But for now, what I want to do is just kind of get us all going together. Does everybody have guitar picks? Does everybody have a guitar pick? All right. So what I want you to do is go ahead. We're going to hit this top string here. And what I'm going to do is I'll count to 4, we're going to tune. So the low E string here, we're going to go through each string. And you're going to get used to just making sure that the tone on your string matches mine. We'll go real quick. And we'll spend more time with tuning over the next few weeks because you'll learn to do that all on your own eventually. So I'm going to hit, this is the low E string. So I hit it, 2, 3, 4, you hit it. All right, the low A. That's the next string down, 2, 3, 4, now you all hit it. I'm going to hit the next one as the D. 2, 3, 4, your turn. Make sure your guitar, the note that you're playing sounds like the note I'm playing. The next one is a G. 2, 3, 4, your turn. Finally, the last 2, I'm going to hit my B. It's the second one from the bottom. 2, 3, 4, your turn. And now my turn one more time. We're going to hit that last string. That's the high E string. 2, 3, 4, your turn. All right, everybody tuned up. We're good to go. So we'll kind of get in the habit of doing that. So the next thing we're going to do is when you're getting into the guitar, there's all sorts of different things to think about. All right, we have strumming. We have learning how to play melodies on the guitar. We want to learn how to play different types of chords. We learn how to play. We learn rhythm. Those are the 3 main components in music. Who knows what melody is? Good, right? We got melody. Who knows what harmony is? Right? Who knows what rhythm is? Who knows? Raise your hand. Oh, everybody knows what rhythm is. Good, right? So those are the 3 main components in music that we're going to learn about. If you've ever listened to. So that's a part that you sing, right? That's the melody. Then you have harmony, which are your chords. Can everybody hear that okay? Good. So when I play my chords, we call that harmony. We play the harmony. Now we got to give it some movement, and it sounds like this. There's all sorts of different kinds of rhythms. We'll talk about that because in music, right, depending on where you're from or where the style may be from, we have styles, depending on where the artist that you're listening to is from, they may play in different types of styles. So for every kind of style that you can learn to play, it's a different approach to the guitar. So now what we want to do is just to get started, everybody, what we're going to do is, this is review. Who knows the names of the strings of the guitar? Liv, do you know the names? You do? All right, so here we're gonna go, right? I'm gonna get a little closer to the screen here so you can see what I'm doing. If I start on this string here, everybody, I want you to follow me. We've got 6 strings, right? You count like this, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oddly enough, the first string is on the bottom. So here we go. This is the E string. This is the A string. The D string, the G, the B, and the E. I like to tell my students, let's see, this might be review. I don't know if Anaya will remember this. I have a little saying to remember the strings. It goes like this: eat apples daily, get better Easy. So start from that. Everybody go up to your 6th string there and look at them, and you say it. Eat apples daily, get better, easy. If somebody can come up with, remember that's EADGBE. So it's just an easy way to remember the names of those strings. You can do a little contest if any of you can come up with, see who can come up with the funniest saying to remember the strings. It's always fun to do. So if you can come up with a way to remember it yourself, that's totally cool. But otherwise, it's just I had a student of mine actually that taught me that, and I thought that was helpful. So anything to help you remember the names of the strings. All right. You should have the pick that you're holding between your thumb and your index finger, right? Like that on your right hand. Okay. Now this is what I want you to do just to get the feel for the string. This might be review again. What we're going to do is I'm going to get a little closer again here. Everybody see that okay? Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to go to the 6th string here, and you're going to do 4 strums on each one. Watch what I do. I go like this on each string. Looks like this. Get a kind of a nice angle. Here we go. It goes down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're alternating on every strum. So when I do that, I'm going to do that on every string. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go to the next string and I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next string. That should be the D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next string. 2, 3, 4. Next string. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last string. So when I put it all together, so that's a good way, right? When we start working on our strumming, you want to start getting familiar with where those strings are. So that's something you can do in the right hand, working on that picking, getting used to working with that pick, all right? Because we're going to be using that a lot. And I'll say this, when you play the guitar, there is no one way to do it. Eventually, you may figure out a way that you say, hey, this is the way I want to play. You know, if you come up with your own personal style, and that's totally cool. But the point today, what I want to do is I'm going to save you some steps, and we're just going to all make sure that we're on the same page. Some people like to play with a pick. Some people like to play with their fingers. You know, there's so many different styles. But for today, everybody, we're just going to work with this pick. The next thing we're going to do is I want you to go, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the left hand, right? So now you've got a right hand kind of drill to work on. Next thing you want to do is work on that left hand. So what I'm going to do here, kind of angle my camera. All right, so what I'm going to do now, can everybody see that okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to jump all the way down here to the 1st fret. Okay, now, and we're going to talk about the parts of the guitar in a moment. But this is the 1st fret, that first space on the guitar. Okay, let me see. Everybody got it? So let's see where you're at. Good. So what we're going to do is on each string now, on the first 2 strings, what I want you to do is you're going to push down right behind, place your finger right behind that 1st fret. You've got to squeeze, keep that thumb straight behind the back of the guitar. If you look, let's see if I can get a good angle here. When my thumb is against the back of that string, or on the back of the neck, it stays kind of goes right across so that it gives me some support. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Because now you've got to learn to build that strength in that in that left hand. So go to the 1st fret, everybody. Everybody hold your guitars up. Let's see here. I see one of the things, let's back up for a second. So when you hold the guitar, what you want to do is you're going to, let's see my man right here in the middle over at high point. What you want to do is go ahead and grab your guitar. I want you to lift that guitar up. You're going to set it so that it's resting on your right leg. So right where that cutout is, you have the cutout where it sits right on your knee. It's going to rest right on your leg there. That's good. Liv has got it over here. That's perfect. Grady, you're looking good. All right, so what you're going to do now is I want you to, you've got to keep that there. And what you do is you line up, keep that thumb. Do you see how my thumb is straight across the back of the neck? Whenever you play guitar from now on, that thumb shouldn't be like laying down or coming over the top. It's just straight across the back. And now what I do, keep that first finger, you're going to keep it, which it's almost like I like to tell my students, like a little eagle claw. Kind of form a little hook, and I push down right behind that fret marker. You got to dig in, and now see if you can get a note out of that first string. I'm hitting the very bottom string. It's that very bottom string here. That's the first string. That's the E. Remember, eat apples daily, get better easy. So get used to saying that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing up the neck. I do that. I put my next finger right behind that next fret. And I got to squeeze, keeping that thumb straight, just like I said before. And now the third finger, same thing. And the fourth finger. And then you're going to go backwards. The whole idea, though, is that you have to really push down. Because eventually, then what you can do is stuff like this. The next step would be eventually, as you get comfortable, you'll be able to start kind of hunting out and picking those melodies. You can start looking those as you get more comfortable building that strength. Who's getting a sound out of the guitar when they do it? You able to do it? All right. So that's the basics of it. So now that's a basic technique that you would do this week to kind of get that. Remember, you have in the right hand, you have the picking exercise. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you might say, well, why do I have to do that? Because if you do that, eventually it leads to this. You have to develop a sense of where those strings are. You have to be able to pick. All right. So that leads us to the next thing. Let's see, this is kind of a game I play too. This might be a review for some of you. As we get into these lessons, you need to know the parts of the guitar. You need to know what I'm talking about. So let's see here. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Liv, you're going to be my assistant today, and I know Anaya could probably help me with this too. All right. So who remembers out of the two of you, who knows where the head of the guitar is? Oh, let's see it, Anaya. Where's the head? Point to it. Yeah, go ahead and point to it on your guitar. Where's the neck? This is the neck, right? How about the body? Good. How about the bridge? The bridge? It's this funky thing down here. That's the bridge. If you have an acoustic guitar, that's it. It's right across the bottom there, Liv. So all you electric guitar players, it looks a little different, but it's right here at the bottom, okay? All right, so you've got that. You got the head. Who knows where the tuners are? Where do you think the tuners might be? These are your tuners, okay? What about the frets? Anaya, do you remember the frets? Oh, Liv's got it. And Anaya, what I want you to do is also show your friends over there too. Explain to them. So your frets, right, are 1, 2, for you count right up the neck, okay? They're laid into the frets are laid in the top of the neck. We call that the fret board. That's where we do all our works. When we play, we're doing all our fancy finger work on the fret board, okay? Let's see here. There's only one person that can answer this one. Where's the sound hole? Oh, that's it, right? Okay, electric guitar players, hold that up again, Liv. Do you see, can everybody see her guitar? She has, you have the big hole in the middle. That's unique to the acoustic guitar. For us electric guitar players, we've got these pickups here. All right. So that's where our sound, it's kind of like the electric sound hole in a way, right? So that's where our sound comes from. So let's do a quick review of the parts. Everybody, I'm going to call it out. I want everybody to point to the parts on their guitar now. So the head. Where's the head? All right. Let's see if we can see who wins here. The most points wins. All right. We've got the neck. All right. Good. The body. Guitar's like a person. Be kind to them. All right. How about the tuners? Who knows where the tuners are? Good. Let's see. How about the frets? That's it. Those got it. How about the let's see. What did I miss? How about the fretboard? Who remembers which part of the guitar is the fretboard? Right. It's the top of the neck, right, where we put our fingers. How about the sound hole? That's right. That one's for Liv. How about the pickups? Who knows where the pickups are? We're going to talk about those more in the coming, like next week. We'll spend some time with the pickups. Good. So your pickups. And there's one major part that I forgot to mention. Well, two. Where's the bridge? Got the bridge. And who remembers, what are these called? Kind of an important part of the guitar, right? Can't play the guitar unless you have guitar strings. That's it. Good. You got the guitar strings. So what I would want to do is, I want you all to memorize those parts. Maybe next week we'll figure out a way to have fun with this format. We're going to kind of figure this out as we go. Maybe we can turn it into some games. I think there's a lot that we can do with this and have some fun with it. All right. So for next week, I'm going to quiz you on the names of the strings. So take notes. The names of the parts of the guitar. I'm going to see how your right hand movement is. And I'm going to see, remember our little finger exercise here on the left, one fret at a time. Okay, so one of the things that we're also working on is that eventually that as we get into these lessons, we're talking about creating kind of a resource, maybe a YouTube channel or something eventually that you'd be able to, all the content that is in the lessons, once we get into the chords, that you'll be able to go to those and review those over time. So we have some things in the works for you guys. Let's see here with the time. Let's see, we got just enough time. I want to see, for those of you who have been playing, let me see here. Anaya, are you the only, let's say, you can give me a thumbs up. Are you the only one from High Point that from Grady that we've worked with before? I think everybody else looks new. I think you're the only repeat that I see. I know you and Nava were the ones that were the most consistent there. And then we've got Liv, who looks like she has some experience too. Let's see here. So I'm just going to do it for the two of you for a moment. Let's do this. Do you remember how to play an E chord? Does anybody know how to? Because what we're going to do is we'll jump into this next week some more. Because what we got to do is we got to start building some strength. So we've got an E. All right. Yeah, you've got an E. That's an E minor. Let's do this. I'm going to teach all of you one chord today, and then we're going to move on. So, the last thing here. So we've got a chord, and you're going to get a rhythm. So for today, different chords give you different sounds on the guitar. Different chords create different moods. All right, so this is what I want all you to do. So what I'm going to do is, on the left hand, this is my left hand, my fingers go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I've got my thumb. So when we're talking about guitar fingers, we're really just counting these 4, all right? So then we've got our thumb. Good. So what I want you to do is you're going to take that second finger, which is your middle finger, you count from the bottom up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should be on the 5th string. That's the A string. Remember? Eat apples. So that's the A string. So I want you to put that second finger right underneath it, right on that 5th string. Okay? Remember, you keep that thumb straight across the back. Don't let it fall. You keep it straight, kind of right across the back of the neck. You keep that finger up. Now what I want you to do is you're going to take your ring finger, your third finger, and you place it on the next string in the same fret, right below it. Okay? So that's going to be on the 4th string. You can count from the bottom up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take that first finger and you're going to count. You're going to go to the 1st fret, which is right here. Count from the bottom up. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what you got. Okay, this is an E major. Do you remember that one, Anaya? Have you played that one before, Liv? And the cool thing about this chord, I can give that 4 strums. On the left, on the right hand, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. The cool thing about this chord, I lift up that first finger, and it becomes what we call E minor. And that's going to be our stopping point for today. So when I play that, it sounds like this. Here's the last little game we'll play for today. We've got major. Everybody see that okay? I lift that finger up. It becomes E minor. So we can talk about, right, we said different chords, different majors and minors give you different moods. Let's see if you remember this. A lot of times, right, we can think of it in terms of bright or dark or happy and sad. When I think about major chords, this is what we're going to do. I want you to tell me out of the 2 chords, you hold up the number, 1st chord or 2nd chord, and you tell me which one sounds like the happy chord, all right? Which one sounds like the bright or happy chord? So here we go. Here's the first one. All right. And then the second one. Remember, we're looking for the happy chord. First, second. Let's see. Okay, we've got from Liv, we've got the 1st chord. Let's see over at high point, we've got 1st chord, right? And then what are we saying? All right, good, right? Who remembers is that would be the major chord. So E major, your major chords are going to be your happy, bright, sunny chords, where your minor chords, right? I always like to say, everybody loves when I use this one. Your major chords are the song that you write when you've just, it's a new love. The minor chords are the ones you do when it's a breakup. So, all right. So that's a good stopping point for today, I think. So your majors and your minors, I'm going to ask you next week. We'll review about the picking lesson on the right hand parts of the guitar. All right. Remember, you can start moving around 1 fret at a time. We'll do some review. And then you're strumming. So just when you play those chords, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to spend more time with the chords specifically next week.